There are racehorses who like to compete behind the starting gate. And then there are pleasure horses who like to go on leisurely rides. Then there's Courser Hanover. Now, he's a racehorse who likes to be ridden. Or maybe he's a pleasure horse who likes to race. Courser Hanover is a lovable horse who's been making an impression recently on the racetrack. However, not too long ago, no one was saying that about the 9-year-old pacer.
A few months ago, Courser's attitude was he wouldn't stick his head out. He had his ears back, wasn't talkative. I saw the track and ran off. He just didn't want anything to do with racing. He was just out of control. Nobody liked him. He didn't like himself.
So what makes a horse have an attitude like that? Well, in Courser Hanover's case, it's believed that it could have been caused from a recent injury. Although he had a lot of time to rest and was back in perfect shape physically, the thought of getting hurt again may have been on his mind still and throwing him off mentally. The people closest to him, owners and trainers Patty and Tim Crissman, and his regular driver, Tony Morgan, tried different equipment and routines, but nothing was working. Until his caretaker, Nicky Ratledge, made a suggestion.
I kept saying all winter long, I'm like, Tim, let me ride him, let me ride him, let me ride him. Like, I've always rode the bad ponies when I rode at Fox Den. Beth Steele was my trainer, and she would always just say, Nicky, get on this pony. I'd be like, okay, I have no fear when it comes to riding. And so Tim's like, no. I think in Tim's head, because he's a runaway, nobody can stop him. So finally one day, Tim was just like, calls me up, are you going trail riding today? I'm like, yeah, but I don't have a horse. I'll figure something out. He goes, ride Courser. Just get on Courser. And I'm like, for real? This isn't real. No. And he's like, yes, it is. He's like, go, just get on Courser. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get on him at the barn, and then I'll take him trail riding. I get on him, and he just stands there. I'm like, this isn't the same horse. I'm living a dream right now. Dave, who works for Joe McDonald, was like, that's not Courser. He was like, I think you're on the wrong horse. And Lori Davis went riding with us, and they're both like, this isn't Courser. Like, he went over the bridges, went through water. He just was happy. At first he was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then once I put him in between the two horses, he just put his head down. I was riding with one hand. I was, laughing, talking. I wasn't even worried about him running off. I said, Tim, let me ride him while jogging. He's like, I don't know. So finally I was like, let me just, come on. And so I did it, and I rode around the field and around the track a little bit, and he was still fast, like he was jogging, but then he was like, oh, you're riding me. Kind of like, oh yeah, I don't have to go fast. And just put his head down, and Joe McDonald come out with his horse jogging, and he was like, okay, hi, how are you? I'm riding and you're being pulled. And then now he's just like, this is what I want to do. He'll make an awesome riding horse one day.
He's been quite a handful, and for her to take him out there and try riding him was something I would never do. I was scared to death when she got on him. I thought we'd pick her up somewhere in the Chesapeake Bay, and he ran away with her, but she did a good job, and she handles him well, and she's learned to calm him down some. I was really shocked. I couldn't believe it. He's not as stressed as he was, because usually when you hook him up to the jock cart to take him out, he's kicking and carrying on and trying to throw himself, and as soon as he hits the track, he's just gone. I couldn't jog him anymore. He hurt my back, and then Justin was jogging him, and then he strained all the ligaments in his ankle trying to stop him. I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what else to do with him. She suggested riding him one day, and we all started laughing. We thought she was kidding, but she strapped on her helmet, and away she went.
Not only has the new exercise routine been a positive outcome on his frame of mind, but it's influencing his performance on the racetrack. He's hit the board in 13 out of 16 starts this year and continues to move up the class ladder.
He's lovable. He loves me. He gives kisses. When he sees another horse, he's neighing at him. And we're like, this isn't, we never heard that before. He's actually puts his head on me. He'll, he knows who I am. He has trust in me, and he trusts I think the barn now. He understands, oh, I don't have to run away.